Hello, and welcome to Charter's Local Edition. I'm Mark Staples, your host. We're broadcasting to you from the fan window in the state capitol in Helena on the third day of the 2015 Montana legislative session. And my guest is the Senate Majority Whip, Senator Ed Buttrey from Great Falls. Ed, thanks for coming by.
Thank you.
Yeah, you're going to be busy this session.
We will. We've already got things well rolling, and it'll just get busier from this point on.
I just asked you, and it's surprised me. You've only been here 3 sessions,
right?
And you're already the Senate Majority Whip. You know that used to take eons.
I'm a fast learner.
Oh well, no question about it. So what's the Majority Whip do? What's your job?
Well, really, we serve at the pleasure of leadership and of the Majority Leader, and I think in this session the focus is going to be on communication. Making sure that all members of our caucus understand what our vision is, what leadership is doing, working together, nobody's surprised. We feel if everyone's communicating back and forth and everyone's involved in the decision process, that things can move pretty smoothly in the session. Now,
it's no secret that there have been disagreements in the caucus, respectful disagreements, but nevertheless. Can you broach those?
Sure. I think as Republicans, we're all visionaries, and if you have a problem in front of us, we're going to come up with 32 different ways to solve the problems. Right. And I think to some extent just understanding that we tend to have different ideas on how to solve the problem, and when you have everyone sit down and all the ideas come out, a good solution comes to the front. We have to understand that. We are a big, diverse state. We represent a diverse group of people. It's just not going to be, there won't be many times when we agree on everything from the get-go.
But that's what the process is about.
Sure, that's right. And the more ideas you have, the better the solution is.
Well, let's blend your job as the Majority Whip, which is kind of the entire agenda and the whole state picture and the whole caucus picture,
right,
with your job as the senator from Great Falls. Where do those two blend, particularly in this session? What have you got on the agenda, particularly for your own district?
Well, and again, I represent the part of Middle Montana, and our focus is really on manufacturing, on agriculture, and so I'm looking out for the interests of our area. Being in a position of leadership allows me to have a seat at the table to make sure that I know everything that's going on and how it would affect my area, and then communicating with the senators from the other parts of the state to make sure that their vision's heard. So, it puts me at the front table. It ensures that I know everything that's happening with our caucus and with leadership, and I think that's a really good benefit for Cascade County and Central Montana.
When you're in leadership, your duties there's a lot more of them. Your time is more precious. Do you still have time to carry bills? And if you do, you got 2 or 3 that you got lined up? And tell me one.
Sure, yeah, there's still plenty of bills to be carried. I think being in leadership simply means your day starts earlier and your day ends later.
There you go.
Meetings start in the morning, you're working till late at night. It's why we look like old people when session's complete. I'm carrying a number of bills. There's some really important work I'm still doing within labor. Economic development is one of the areas that I've done a lot of work in.
And you're the chairman of the Business and Labor Committee in
right,
the Senate.
Chair of Senate Business, Labor, Economic Affairs, and Vice Chair of Senate Local Government.
Right.
So I'm kept pretty busy helping manage those committees as well. But we've got a great group of senators on both committees, so I think my job will be a little easier.
Well, let's race through a couple of the major issues. The budget.
Sure.
It's
the one thing we're mandated
workable
to do. Well, we're going to have issues with the revenue estimate. We know oil and gas prices are dropping and the economy is constantly fluctuating, and that makes it really tough to estimate what our revenue is going to be. And if we are not accurate with our revenue, then how can we be accurate with knowing what we can spend? And that's the biggest challenge that we have with the budget is, making sure that our spending levels account for whatever fluctuations we might see within the revenue.
And then we've got the health care, huge.
Sure.
Medicaid expansion.
Right.
Some opposed, some for. Is there a middle ground?
Well, I think the middle ground is that all of us agree that we have to come up with some healthcare solution, that we've got to do some things to address the cost of healthcare and to make sure that healthcare is provided in efficient manner as possible. Personally, I want to make sure that whatever health plans that we do provide to our citizens are truly affordable to them. It doesn't make much sense to hand someone a health card and then through co-pays and deductibles, it's not affordable for them to use. So if we're going to have a plan, let's make sure that it is truly affordable. And that's going to be a big issue within this session.
How about the other big issue? Well, there's several, but how about the issue of the infrastructure dramatized by Eastern Montana's needs?
Sure.
And the proposed bill from the governor's office is we're going to we're going to concentrate on infrastructure needs statewide.
Right, and that's the two big issues. We all know we need help with infrastructure. Issue number one is, do we pay with cash? Do we have cash to pay for it, or borrow it?
At low interest rates.
Right, and issue number two is, I would like to make sure that we set up a practice and policy so that we can fund infrastructure needs throughout the state, wherever they may be now and wherever they may exist in the future. A number of years ago, the needs were in western Montana. And now they're in eastern. Some point they'll be in central Montana. We need to come up with a system that allows us to rapidly address the needs no matter where they exist.
Cash, bonding, or a blend?
I think it's going to end up being a blend. I don't think we're in as good a cash position as most folks think that we are. And I think with really low rate interest rates out there now, it makes some sense to blend it. But that's going to be the decision of the bodies.
Yeah. How about Great Falls itself? You come down, you're the Senate Majority Leader, our Senate Majority Whip. We're at the end of the session. You've been through the 90 days. As you say, you look a little tattered and beaten, but you're finished, and you're driving home. You're looking in your rearview mirror at the Capitol. What do you hope is in your mind as having done?
Well, first thing I'm going to do is look in the rearview mirror at myself, and if I have served my constituents above all else, I can live within my conscience. I've served the constituents. It hasn't been a political thing. It's about doing what's best for my constituents and all of Montana. Then I'm happy. If I look in the rearview mirror at the Capitol as I leave Helena, and I hope as a body, as a group of bodies, we have served the people of Montana and not made it political, partisan. It's simply about doing what we were sent here to do. I'll be smiling. I'll be tired, but I'll be heading home.
It's somewhere to get some sun.
Right.
Yeah. Well, thank you for coming by. I know you couldn't be busier. Have a great session, and Charter appreciates it, and we appreciate you folks tuning in. Send a note to these people, not telling them what to do, what you want. You can do that too, but thank them. Thank them for serving. Thank them for taking their time. There are a lot of other places they could be, and up here struggling to do what's right for Montana. We appreciate it. Ed, thanks it's nice to see you. Congratulations on your new position.
Thank you.
All right, bye-bye.
Bye.